Hello. Once again, I think, therefore I am. And please take a minute always after you hear the talk and think. And slowly and steady you will be able to see what is happening around you and what is happening to the whole thing. I understand that there are so many questions you have to ask, or you do want to ask. So please do. I will do my best to answer as much as I can. Today's topic is in connection with free will. Now, the humans, as we are told, consist of the body, the self, and the spirit. This is according to religious books. According to science, it's the body, the brain, and the brain is divided into two places. One is the thinking process, primarily, and one is the emotional. And then you will have a few other bits and pieces like the memory and what have you. But I would like to go into the so-called religious thoughts, into their schools for a minute. For they always explain to us that God has given us rules to go by. I'm sorry, isn't that the same as 1 + 1 = 2? No questions asked. And even when you ask a question that they do not have an answer to, they will always turn around and say, oh, God knows. I'm sure God does. Tell you the truth, even humans do. Because even when I look at the human, I'm looking at a body, a self, and spirit. Now, the body is a material thing. That's the one we see and we touch. The soul is another matter. Yet, it is connected to the body somehow. Now, we're not going to go through all of that. We are trying to understand exactly what is happening to the human race as such. Us people, me, what is happening to me? Why is it happening to me? And so on. So the self, if I would truly look at it, I will be able to see definitely that it is the one that is in part control. Because the body is a mere machine, same as the car. If there is no driver, the car doesn't move. So here we have the self as the driver of this body. Okay, I'll accept that. It would record everything that it decides to do from A to Z. Although we may not quite understand it as such, but let me give you a few pointers here, if I may. Say, for example, that you are walking on the road and your mind is occupied by a thought, no matter what that thought is, but you are deep into that thought. And by the time you walk around, then you reach your destination. Someone else will say to you, oh, you hurt yourself. And you say, oh, where? And they said, your arm is bleeding. You look at your arm and you go, ouch. I'm sorry. Now, where did that happen? Then you start to recall your memory. And you will see that as you were walking deep into that thought that you had, you scratched your arm by the wall that you were walking next to it. You were so close to the wall that you scratched your arm. Yet you did not feel no pain or no ouch at the time. It's only when someone reminded you of it and you saw it and you go, ouch. So who really took the pain here? The body definitely didn't take it the first time, for it didn't feel anything. Yet when we were told of it and when we saw it, then the ouch came in. So really speaking, the self is the one that's been hurt, not the body. Yes, the body had a scratch, but that didn't bother it. It didn't bother you at the time it happened. Yet, later on it did. Because the self told you it did. Because the self actually felt it then. Now, I could go on with so many examples like this. You are sitting and thinking about something, deep thoughts now we're talking about. And someone will say something to you. Or someone comes into your room and then leaves, says something and then left. A while later, they'll come back and say, well, what do you think? And you go, about what? You were there. They were there. Now, your ears have heard whatever it was said. And it was registered in your memory. Now, the question is, who actually heard it? There are so many examples that I could go through with this, and endless examples. When you go to sleep, if you like, you dream. Don't we all dream? A dream is a concept of so many open possibilities. And I wouldn't want to go through so deep with dreams now. But hopefully, in later talks, we will. For dreams is life. We may not see it now, that's for sure, but it definitely is, and you will definitely see it if you start thinking. For this is the idea that we are trying to put down here. You think, therefore, you are alive. And I'll give you a break on this. Just a thought.